Hey there, and welcome back, Yeshua lovers. We've got two Aleph and Tav treasure witnesses of Yeshua, and they're only a couple of chapters apart. This first one I'm going to show you is in Genesis chapter 22 and verse 17. Here is our standalone Aleph and Tav right there, and you see it's next to Sha'ar, which means gate, and Oy Vav. You ever heard the Jewish person say Oy vey? Well, this is that word right there, but it's a different. It's like your enemies. Their enemies. So Oy vey just means enemy. That's what they're saying when they say Oy vey. But anyway, our English verse reads. Again, I'm in Genesis 22, verse 17. Actually, let's start in 15 because that gives it a little context. Then the angel of Yahweh called to Abraham a second time out of heaven and said, "By myself I have sworn, declares Nahum, Yahweh, because you have done this thing and have not withheld your son, your only son. Blessing I will bless you, and multiplying I will multiply your descendants as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is on the seashore. And your descendants shall possess at gate of their enemies." So Abraham's descendants shall possess or inherit. It also means to inherit, like, how do I explain? You can look these up, hopefully by now, that I've shown several of y'all how to look stuff up in the Blue Letter Bible. It has other meanings too, but the gate of their enemies. And then we have in Genesis chapter 24, we have the story of Rebekah and the servant finding Rebekah, and he's about to take her away from her family. And her family says, I'll begin in verse 59 of Genesis 24. So they sent away Rebekah, their sister, and her nurse, and Abraham's servant and his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said to her, "Our sister, may you become," there's no word for mother in this verse in the Hebrew, "thousands of 10,000s, and may your descendants possess or inherit the gate," it's singular, Sha'ar, "of those who hate them." Different word this time. It's not Oy vey or Oy vav. It's Sanav. So we're still possessing the gate of those who hate them, who are our enemies. Well, that reminds me of a verse in Matthew that has to deal with Yeshua. Let's turn there. I'm going to be going to Matthew 16, verse 18. All right, I'm here in Matthew 16. I'm going to start in verse 13 here. When Yeshua came into the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, "Who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?" So they said, "Some say John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." He said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" Simon Peter answered and said, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living El." Yeshua answered and said to him, Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I also say to you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades shall not prevail against it. Hopefully some of y'all by now can recognize this word here. Sheol. It is also the spelling of Saul, as in Saul of Tarsus. So Yeshua here is warning him against Saul of Tarsus, and the gates of Hades shall not prevail against it. Peter doesn't realize this right now, I doubt, but you get to Galatians 2:11, and I bet Peter knew perfectly well what Yeshua was saying. But isn't that interesting that Yeshua says that about the gates of your enemies, the gates of those who hate you, and then he says to Peter that the gates of Hades, and he even uses Saul's name right there, shall not prevail against it. I thought that was pretty interesting and pretty damning for you know who. But, alright, for those of you with ears to hear and with eyes to see, I hope you take this to heart. Our Messiah even warned Peter about this person. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed today's Aleph and Tav treasure. And may we all, descendants of Abraham, possess the gates of those who hate us and possess the gates of our enemies. All right. Love you guys. Lahidrout.